Hi everyone, my name is Elisa and welcome back to my channel, All You Can Eat with Elisa. Today I am going to be sharing with you a recipe I made a few weeks ago. They are pandan donuts with a coconut glaze. So I've been on this pandan kick lately and I've been trying to find new recipes to create with the pandan leaves, so I'm happy to share this one with you. Let's get started. We're going to start with our dry ingredients. I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And then I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I have 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we want to whisk all of these dry ingredients together to get out any lumps. And then once we do that, we're going to set it aside. I'm just going to create a little well when we put our wet ingredients in here. Okay, on to our wet ingredients. I have here a 1/2 cup of full fat coconut milk. You want to buy the canned kind. The Thai brand would be the best, I think, as far as quality. And then we have 3/4 cup of pandan juice. You're going to take a 3/4 cup of water and you're going to blend it with about 7 or 8 pandan leaves. I use a NutriBullet to blend it because it's easier than bringing out a big blender. But then you're going to pour that through a sifter, extract all that fiber out, and then you're going to get this lovely concentrated pandan flavor in that water. Okay, so to this is also 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Oh, I need a little help here. And then 1 egg. This is at room temperature, so I set it out this morning. And we're just gonna whisk this all together. Now, because I actually use the brown sugar, the color is gonna be not as of that like pistachio looking green that you wanna find. So to this, I'm just gonna add a very, very, very small, like not even a drop of food coloring to this, just to brighten up the green so it's more pale green. We're just gonna mix it. It's gonna be thick. We're just gonna mix it up until it's all fully incorporated, but not overly mix it. It might be a little lumpy and that's fine too, but you just don't want to overly mix it because you don't want the batter to be too tough. You just want to make sure there's no more white clumps. Now I have in my oven, I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's already set. And I am using these silicone molds. I liberally grease these up with some butter, and because they're flimsy, you don't want to just put them directly on there because once you put the batter in there, you know, it might spill. So if you're using these types of molds, I recommend you putting them on like a baking sheet. Otherwise, if you have like the hard metal donut pan kinds, you don't need to put it on one of these. You can just put them directly in the oven because they're already sturdy. So how am I going to get this mixture in here? I knew this vase would come in handy. So I have here a tall vase. You can actually, when I made it last time, I didn't use a tall vase. I just literally took a ladle and started scooping it in my bag. But for demonstration purposes, since no one's here also to quickly get this in here, I thought that this would be a quick way to show you how to get all that batter in here. See how thick that is? This is the consistency you want the batter to be. You can also use a Ziploc bag. If you don't have a piping bag, you could pour it in your Ziploc bag and then you just have to cut the corner of your Ziploc and it works the same way. So you want to fill the molds about 3/4 of the way. and try to get them as even as possible. Try to get the batters like as even as possible, so when they bake evenly, and one's not like higher than the other, one side's not higher than the other. It's okay if it's not completely even. Okay, we've got our batter in our molds, and we are going to pop these in the oven and bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes. After about 10 to 12 minutes of the donuts being in the oven, you'll want to insert a toothpick to just check to make sure that it comes out clean, and then that's when you'll know it's done. You really want to try to check it closer to the 10-minute mark for the silicone molds. The key to any type of cake or muffin, in this case, it's the baked donut, so it's like a cake donut. You want to make sure you don't over bake it, because you can have a great recipe, but as soon as you over bake it, it just becomes dry and you just ruined it. For the glaze, I have here 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. You want to make sure you're sifting it. Take a mesh and then scoop your powdered sugar through the mesh. That way you're gonna avoid lumps. If you just literally just use powdered sugar, you're definitely gonna have lumpy glaze. I have here 1 tablespoon of melted butter to this powdered sugar mixture. I'm also gonna add just like a pinch of salt, maybe about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then 1 tablespoon at a time, you're gonna add coconut milk. This is the full fat canned coconut milk that we used in our donut recipe. And you wanna do that, so then you wanna get that desired consistency. So I could already see it's not gonna, I'm gonna need more. So I'm gonna do 2. You might even need 3. I'm gonna need 1 more, I bet. It's a little too thick. Okay, here we go. So I have here I added 3 tablespoons of that coconut milk. And it's that perfect consistency. Up to you with how much glaze you want. This is actually really cute right here. These will actually set too, so for me, that's why I didn't put a lot of sugar in the actual dough part, because your glaze is going to give it that sweetness already. So then I didn't want to do double sweetness. So the sweetness is for this recipe is going to come more from that glaze. All right, and we are done. We are just going to wait until these set up nicely. If you want to get even more fancy with it, you can certainly add some flaked coconut on top, whether it's regular shredded coconut flakes or toasted coconut. I'm sure that'll be delicious, but I just like these simple glaze like this. The moment of truth. I've got my donuts all glazed and I'm going in for the sample. Delish. Soft, pillowy. The donut's still nice and moist. Again, the key is not to over bake these donuts. Lovely donut, Pandan donut, nice Pandan flavor. To have donut in my mouth. The coconut glaze gives it that extra sweetness to balance the donut, because we didn't make the donut too sweet. Check it out, try it out, let me know how it turns out for you. I'd love to hear from you, so drop me a comment. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. That way you can get notifications of when we post a new video. So thanks again for watching, guys. Take care. Oh, this is interesting. There. you're gonna have to, maybe you're gonna, yeah, okay. Well, it sat in the bowl too long.